So we find ourselves slowly in the final rounds of the round robin, and it gets interesting here at the Captain's Clash. We got Team Hlopaka now up against Team Dynouh. Now again, we have a bit of a mismatch in how many matches were played by the teams, which now puts us in a situation where Team Hlopaka has played a single series against the top dog in the rankings, and they lost without taking a map, so they're currently 0-1. Team Dynouh, on the other hand, has already played 3 matches before, and they are 1-2 right now. So, kind of an important one here. It's a pretty big battle, actually, of which team makes it into the playoffs and which teams won't be able to pull it off, especially since Team Disciple actually lost a 0 just recently to Team Sadath, who up to that point were 0-2 in the standings. So if Team Sadath just kept losing, then you would have already had one team that doesn't make it into the playoffs, and that would have made it easier for teams to get into the playoff rankings. But now Sadath's team is all of a sudden in for the running for a playoff spot as well, and that just throws everything into complete disarray. So it's getting super interesting here right now. And we have a best of 3 in our hands. We're going to Garden of Terror first. And again, the tournament has no draft rules, so just vanilla drafting. But we had the teams not... the teams didn't sign up as teams, they weren't predetermined. So 6 captains were chosen, and the captains then, with the help of an auction system, drafted their teams from a player pool. And now we have 6 teams playing out a round robin in the first phase of the tournament, and the top 4 move on to the playoffs. So in this case, Dynouh's team now with Blaze and Johanna locked in quickly. There was a little bit of mini drama going on earlier, where apparently Bad Benny, they thought that he wouldn't be able to make it to game number 1, and Team Dynouh had a sub player apparently, so a substitute player for him, but apparently that guy was asleep. So they were sitting there like, ah, well, we don't know what's going on. I think Benny came just back in time. I don't think he had any kind of warm-up or anything of the sorts. So he just came back and immediately jumped on. So it all worked out time-wise, but it could have resulted in a little bit more drama here. I gotta say, I said this on the Twitch stream actually a few times, but you can't even call delays that we have in this tournament Amateur Hour, because ever since we started with the Underdog Cup, the Amateur Cup is running like clockwork. It's insane. It's honestly just like game, maps are ready, like the next series is ready when your series is done, and then you go into the so-called like top level, where you have the, I guess you call them semi-pros at this point, and there's none of that. So yeah, it was kind of amusing to me. Chromie and Hlopaka, after Brightwing for Hlopaka's team, they actually did fairly okay against Team Disciple, I gotta say. So they did a decent job, and curious to see them now up against other teams. I suppose it was a little bit unlucky for them that the first series that they played in the round robin was immediately against the best round robin team. We got a bit of a glimpse into how strong they are, but not too much information, so now we're gonna find out against Team Dynouh what they're really made of. And for the red team, there's a lot on the line here. If they lose now and go 1-3 in the round robin after 4 matches, yeah, that would hurt. So we get Hanzo and we get Rhaegar for Garden of Terror. Rhaegar in general, really strong hero to have, but on Garden of Terror you get the additional bonus of using his Lightning Shield to speed up anybody that is going for mercenary camps, and there are quite a lot of mercenary camps on Garden of Terror, more than on any other map. So Rhaegar is going to give you a little bit of a boost there too, and of course around the objective it helps you as well. Can take some of these pesky defenders out. Now, the final 2 picks for Team Hlopaka. We still need a main tank, and well, they go for Varret and they go for Thrall. So we are looking at a lot of CC at the front line, and everybody is just trying to set things up for Chromie so she can come in and absolutely wreak havoc with the damage that she's going to bring. Ultralisk on Thrall obviously has also some damage that he can really deliver, but it's a kill comp right from the start. Sniper combo for Team Hlopaka. And Team Dynouh, what is their reaction on the final pick? We have, on Garden of Terror, Jaina. Jaina is getting played more and more right now. It's actually kind of cool to see her a little bit more present in the current meta. So, game number 1 of the best of 3, Garden of Terror. The blue team on the left with the captain, Hlopaka, on Chromie. We get Herath in our first game of the series with the Haka. Ultralisk on Thrall. Death Knight on Brightwing, and Play on Varian. As over on the right, we got Cure currently with Hanzo. Yeah, so he's playing, again, cross-server, playing from NA. We got Captain Rax on Rhaegar, Dynouh with Jaina, Copenhagen on Blaze, and we get Bad Benny on Johanna. So, which team is going to be successful in the first game of the series here? Who's going to take the lead on this one? Are we going to see Team Hlopaka get their first win? Or are they going to fall victim to Dynouh and his boys here? Obviously, we're waiting for Taunt to come out. Once that Taunt is in play, that's where the killer comp really comes online. Yeah, lick that minion. Make it shiny. So, Varian, and I suppose he gets out. But he got nearly burned to a crisp there for a second. So, play so far, still fine. A little bit of a brawl in the middle of the map. Everybody just committed. And nobody died, so I suppose that's the good news. We have on level 1, again, Lion's Maw. I think I called it Lion's Tooth the other game. And they are already looking for Blaze. Bad, that jet propulsion. He is able to get out. If you tank that with one of the heroes, and then you are able to move in and, yeah, get the hit, then you are definitely going to find yourself in a spot where you might get first blood. Could take Blaze out. Quite worked out for them, but hey. Baby steps. Cure is already pew-pewing the siege giants here. And then the next camp is being taken. I mean, again, it's the usual mode. Your Garden of Terror, the 1 minute mark passes. All of the camps are spawning and the teams usually make immediate moves for that. We have a steal though. Oh, look at you. I like it. Cure does all the work and then play comes in and just steals everything. So, yeah, the little thief right there. Nicely done. Good job. And now they're trying to go for Rhaegar. And he gets murdered. That's a pretty nice start for Team Hlopaka. They steal the Siege Giants, and then they're taking Rhaegar out. So, not bad. You're going to be happy about this. 1 kill to 0. Level 4 Talons are in. That gives us Taunt, and it gives us also the quest for Thrall. Benny at this point, yeah, is already pushing out. I gotta also give some credit to Benny. Benny apparently is doesn't have a mount, so he doesn't really care. But instead of insulting our eyes with the ugly lizard, he went for the unique and legendary version, and that is absolutely acceptable. I can totally get behind this. So much better choice here for Benny. If you can't go for a proper mount like the money pick, then this is a solid choice that is available to essentially everyone. So yeah. Endorsing that fully. And there's always the pleb horse, of course. I mean, if all else fails, you can go for the poverty horse. The taunt! The hits from Chromie. Not enough damage initially, but they still might be able to get the kill. And he escapes with 100 HP. I was the entire time waiting for another shot from Chromie to connect, and it just didn't. So now we have topside Blaze against the Haka, the 1v1. Don't think anybody is going to die there anytime soon, but down at the bottom, they're breaking through that wall. And Team Hlopaka, they are starting to bully them a little bit here. I actually like it. It's honestly pretty cool to see the team that has only played a single series so far being this aggressive right from the get-go, because they still can prove themselves here. In this case, he went a bit too deep, but the counter kills! Nice! Brightwing, they avenge the fruit fly. Captain Rax is able to move away, so he escapes. But there's also a seed that they could now technically take. But yeah, look at this one. So first they go for Brightwing. The fruit fly gets eliminated. Thrall, by the way, with 4 stacks on his level 4 now. And after that, Hanzo and Johanna both die. Yes, and they get the seed. This is actually a pretty important seed to grab. It's the one on your opponent's side of the map. So usually much tougher for you to take. But because they got the double kill, they were able to move over and grab it. So with the next spawns being middle and left side, that means that it's a bit easier for them to get the first objective here. Play, though, finds himself fully surrounded. Brightwing to the rescue for just a moment, and then the fruit fly is gone again, and Varian still falls. Gets kicked around a little bit with the ragdoll here. And now we have, 3 kills to 3. Decent ult for Chromie, and I suppose the siege giants are going to be lost. The next good news is that Thrall also completed his quest. So he used that little gank from the red team to get a few more connects with the wolf. And that allows him to complete his level 4 very quickly in the game. So, yeah, good news on that part. But Team Dynouh is actually now pulling ahead in experience. They are roughly half a level ahead of their opponent, and they're also breaking some of the walls out. With the seed spawning at the top, this one should be easy pickings for Team Hlopaka. So that would put them into a situation where they have 2 seeds to 0 and closer to the first turn-in. Now, Garden Terrors on this map can still do a lot of work, I guess. But, yep, we'll see. I mean, if you have like that many weeds on a map, I can recommend Salt. I mean, there's so much salt here either way, being it like, oh, salty players, salty viewers, it doesn't really matter. But just salt the earth and nothing will grow there. So, talking about nothing growing, that's Chromie gone. And honestly, with the channel now happening, this is a little bit of a strange one because they're just invading each other's territory. And for the red team, this was a bit easier because they already had level 10. But now we're looking at a situation where we have a 1-1 trade in seeds. So, right side seed was taken by the blue team, left side seed by the red team. They even stole some siege giants away. Now we have both of the teams on level 10. But this is a bit opposite day here, currently. So all in the middle might need some help. Still fine. Varian with his own ult right now. And of course, there is the next camp claim. When it comes to experience alone, I mean, we get right now, mercenary experience is a big lead for Team Dynouh. They just did way better on mercenary experience, and the same is also true for hero XP. They're basically ahead everywhere. I mean, you take any metric and you look at the experience, and they are ahead. Yeah, Carvel of the Garden, gnomes are being kicked around again and up on the map, so there we got another one up at the top. As the fight centers around the arrow from Hanzo, the arrow from hell, all the way from the bot lane. Varian is gone, Ultralisk is gone. Uh-oh, this is starting to hurt. Team Hlopaka, after initially a couple of really nice moves, they are now starting to suffer. They're a level behind and they're 3 kills behind. So, this is hurting. And on top of that, we have another seed about to be claimed by Team Dynouh, which means that once they have that, they have the 2-1 lead and are threatening the first set of Garden Terrors. Another camp about to be claimed. Top side fort is a bit low, and Chromie is now coming in to try and take that out. And a reminder that the blue team is the one that went for a killer comp here. They are the ones that are trying to get quick kills. Red team is even destroying the fort at the bottom of the map right now. So structurally, they're also pulling ahead. Here in the middle, Blessed Shield is still available. Could use it if needed, and does. Can they get a kill on Varian? Jet Propulsion, beautiful! And Varian is gone. Brightwing is dead. Jaina with her baseline quest completed. So now on top of that, we also have the ice block for her. But yeah, big plays coming in from Team Dynouh. And that is a huge problem for Team Hlopaka in game number 1. Brightwing coming in. This is always a problem that you have with Brightwing. And if actually just teleporting in for the heal and then the jet propulsion or any other stun hits the same moment, then you find yourself on the receiving end, and not necessarily the hero that was initially the targets. Sometimes you get the 2 for 0. So, yeah, it's a bit of a problem. And the next one is coming right here with Garden Terrors that are now being claimed. So, this could hurt. It's likely going to cost them a few more structures. Down at the bottom of the map, the fort has already been destroyed, but they can now push through the middle. Level 13 is missing for Team Hlopaka, so you have a talent disadvantage too. It's only one of the smaller ones, but still, this is a super annoying situation. Sundering misses as well as they're playing around this. The top fort is completely alone. There's the arrow. Chromie kind of threw a bit of a wrench into this one, but I think they're walking away with all of the forts destroyed. The one in the middle is certainly about to go down. And up at the top, there's not even a defender, so this one is going to fall as well. The bottom of the map, the Haka is trying to eliminate this, but that's a lot of initially good damage done. Shattering Throw comes in from Varian on 13, also shattering that wall as the topside fort disappears too. So yeah, big damage. And once again, the quick move that we're getting from Hlopaka's team as they're moving in with Varian, hoping to get another taunt and a follow-up on it. It's just not working out for them. There's a bunker already on the ground, and we still have a lot of poking from Team Dynouh. They're going for the next kill, and they take Thrall out. That is 9 kills to 3, and they're not stopping there. They're starting to take out that wall in the middle, gate is about to be gone. Top side, big push also still possible. And there's a lot of CC, obviously. I mean, Jaina as well. You have the Blessed Shield, Jet Propulsion follow-up, Jaina with the slows that she gets. And they're opening all of the walls up that they can possibly open up here. They want another kill. They're going for play. Nice condemn also from Jojo. And there's the taunt, but the arrow straight into the back line. And Varian is dead again. They're going through them like hot butter through cheese in that top lane. The level 16 talents are now available for Team Dynouh. We got 32,000 damage for Jaina. Chromie with 29k, and they want that keep, and they're gonna get that keep. Beautiful first objective for the red team. They took all of the forts out. They destroyed one of the keeps. They have level 16, a 2-level advantage, and Team Hlopaka is just eating dirt the entire time. They have one hero that hasn't died yet, and that's Hlopaka, who's been sitting on the side lane trying to give them extra experience. It's a rough one. Varian as their frontliner has died 4 times now. And yeah, it's problematic, to say the least. But okay, maybe they can somehow bring it back by winning a few team fights. Of course, it's going to be difficult going up against an opponent that has a 16 talent advantage over you. And the stats advantage in and of itself is already a big deal as of 2. Because we're looking at 2 levels here. So they're zoning them away from the next seed as it's about to spawn. And they're claiming the camp. So what the blue team is doing is just running away, trying to get experience, and leaving the map to Team Dynouh. There's not really all that much that they can do, but yeah. Siege Giants are taken, and with Siege Giants plus also the Bruiser camp eliminated, there's not really that much left on the map. That at least was a smart move at the top to try and come in and immediately, you know, take the one camp that was still remaining away from them. But it still didn't get them to level 16. So the talents are now there in a moment, but not quickly enough because that keep is taking damage, and a lot of it. They're getting a kill. Chromie, the main damage dealer, is gone, and a second keep falls. Massive amount of Siege Giants, and they're trying to snowball that towards the core right now. Team Dynouh is trying to go for a bit of a quickie here. Yeah, that's a speedrun, ladies and gentlemen. They are crushing it. Yeah, well, the Sundering was nice, though. And Rhaegar is dead. But the core is falling, and it's falling quickly. Core is about to drop a little bit lower, but the blue team is still hoping that they can defend this. And you know what? They might actually be able to pull that off. 61% on the core. They're still sieging up slightly. A little bit more damage done by Jaina. Dynouh is working those attacks in over and over, and also preventing the core from regenerating a shield. But Varian is soon going to be back, and they're realizing that they're fighting a bit of a losing battle here. But getting the core down to 51% was already a huge W. And of course, on top of that, we have now at the bottom of the map the keep also nearly destroyed. You're down to your final keep, and that one's nearly gone. Finally, some kills. Can they get another one? Yes, they can. That is Hanzo gone, and they will eliminate Jaina as well. Is that too little too late, though? Especially with Jaina getting a kill on Chromie again. So Jaina was actually able to take Chromie out too. Diaga's still the only one that hasn't fallen yet. This is going to be the second seed for them. So not able to get a third one here. That would have been nice. It would have pushed the lanes out. It would have allowed them to maybe eliminate some of the forts. But let's not forget that not a single fort so far has been taken out on the red team side. Not one. Which means that, especially on the lanes where the blue team doesn't have a catapult anymore, it's constant. With every single wave, catapult pressure against Team Hlopaka. Now we got them with 20. That gives us a Farseer's Blessing. We have also Blinded by Light. And I suppose Bullseye for Hanzo. That's going to be what we're getting there. And it's catapult time. That's a lot of catapults. And yes, Hlopaka thankfully is there, or that would have been a big deal. Even 14 minutes into the game, 4 catapults are quite a lot to have on your core. Especially if the core is down to 51%. So with level 20 talents, we are essentially looking at a repeat from what happened earlier when there was a talent advantage around 16 for Team Dynouh. Arrow, ooh, that one. That one is flying and flying and flying. Oh my god. The arrow cam catching it all. If you are in South America right now, you should duck because that thing is headed your way. Try and force that fight again. should still make sure that they're getting that seed, because you can't give it to the blue team. Blue team grabbing it would mean Garden Terrors. That doesn't lose you the game or anything, but it would allow them to take some control over the map again. So, yeah, there's that. Anyways, we got now 46,000 damage for Jaina, 34,000 for Thrall as the top damage dealers here. Seed is still up. Chromie is getting damage out, and they took the Siege Giants. But with half a level until 20, they should finally grab that seed, and that's exactly where they're headed now. So, yep, seed is going to be taken, and that's going to be the second one. Well, in total the fifth one, but for now the second one in this objective for the red team. And they're even stealing a few more of the mercenary camps away. So, 5 minutes in. Yeah, they want that bottom keep. Of course they do. I mean, look how low that thing is. Of course, I would want to keep too. There's level 20. They get some damage in, a little bit more oil spill. Make it burn, baby. The damage of Jaina, Hanzo, and it's gone. They have nothing left, only the core. Sundering from Thrall with a flank, but it's not doing enough. And the bunker is out immediately. If Team Dynouh just slows the game here, they're going to win it eventually just because of the catapult pressure. That's just the reality of where we are right now. The blue team, their only chance to get back into this game, well, I suppose they have two. A, get the objective, but B, they need to win team fights. They basically have to do both. Win a team fight around the objective in an ideal world, and then push this back. Team Dynouh could technically even let this one slide. It will push the lanes out a little bit, but that's about it with all of the catapults that we have there. But they're obviously going to try and make a play for it. By the way, not advocating for them to do it, but they could technically just try. But yeah, bit of poke damage. The Haka's coming in. The longer this fight lasts, the better, of course, for the red team. Because mid lane in particular is going to push, and the bot lane too. But in the mid lane, yeah, we have Siege Giants and Catapults. So this is going to work the lane down much, much faster. And up at the top, Ultralisk is trying to stop that, because that's now 2 Catapults plus Bruiser camp. So not really a lot of fun. And the interrupts, they keep coming. Interrupt after interrupt. Chromie moves into the middle, takes the Catapult, and the Siege Giants out. That was a good move. But down at the bottom of the map, more and more camps are now coming, more and more catapults are coming, and with every single minute that passes, these guys are getting stronger and stronger and stronger. So here comes the arrow against Thrall, who still has a Sundering up, by the way. He uses it towards the top. They want Hanzo, and Cure is low and dies. Cure goes down. Looked for a second like he killed himself. Friendly fire arrows. Varian, yeah, they get Blaze. Okay, so Blaze is down. That's Garden Terrors. Guys, Team Hlopaka, they come back. If they would come back here, can you imagine? Imagine for a second they actually win this map. That would be insanity. That would be utter insanity. You're down to 50% on the core, and your opponent still has all your forts standing, and you somehow turn the game around. That would be incredible. Do I think that actually happens? No freaking way. If it does, though, that would be amazing. So, Garden Terrors are pushing this a little bit. You need to do damage with those. You need to take structures out. That's just the reality of it. So some forts have to fall to at least give you a bit of reprieve on those lanes when you spawn your own catapults occasionally. If you can't do that, then yeah, you're just going to die a slow and painful death. Ancestral is out. They're going to get the fort in the middle. Yep, they're already moving away from that. Bottom fort should also fall. This one is the first one to go down. Top side, that one gets eliminated. And down at the bottom of the map. I suppose this one is going to fall too, but this Catapult might be able to defend this. Nice, again, but Ultralisk gets away. So, let's go. That bottom fort, eliminating that would already be a big step. But the teamfight is obviously still breaking out here. And they are locking in nearly another kill. Just the shields alone were able to safeguard them here. But it's 9 kills to 13, 22 in total. And the bottom fort falls. So one objective and every single fort has now been eliminated. Every single fort is now gone. And yeah, that's 62,000 damage on Jaina. 55,000 damage on Chromie. And now 20 minutes into the game. This is the best that Team Hlopaka looked so far on this first map. So, they are still entertaining the hope of turning this game around. There's a lot of camps on their side of the map that they can still try and take. So that's going to help them a little bit. And yeah, we'll see. Down at the bottom of the map, we're having Siege Giants eliminated. You can tell that the entire vibe of the game has changed. The entire dynamic is now different. We have currently Dynouh's team playing way more defensive than Team Hlopaka. They obviously have to be aggressive to try and control the map, but also to make sure that, yeah, they're creating some opportunities for themselves. It doesn't change the fact that they are still without a keep. So as catapults are getting stronger and stronger, this is still a problem. Those catapults are going to push against you, and there will always be an upper hand. They took the forts out, which is a fantastic first step, but they need to do a lot more. Now, thankfully for the blue team, they have globals, so that helps them to control these lanes. If they didn't have Hlopaka and also Brightwing, they would be in a much worse spot at this point. That's definitely a reality. They also are forced to react to the seeds that are now spawning, because if Team Dynouh picks up another one, then they get Garden Terrors again, and you can definitely not stomach that. That would be just too much. So, right now, a little bit of pressure at the bottom of the map. There's also one, yeah, with Jojo, Condemn, Jaina damage. Look how quickly they're burning this down. It's actually a bit crazy how fast they can obliterate an entire lane like this. The Hlopaka is now sitting at the top and is defending there. As I said before, the global is mega important for them. Down at the bottom of the map, everybody is just trying to go for position here. Taunt is in. Jojo totally fine. So first attempt at a taunt kill didn't work out for them. The Hlopaka moved in as well, which means that the top lane is now slowly becoming a problem. He has defeated a lot of those waves, but there's still a catapult, and there's the remainder of the camp that they took just a bit earlier. And the longer this fight down here lasts, the better. And if it's won by Team Dynouh, they're going to get Garden Terrors. So there is way too much pressure right now. Tons of pressure on Team Hlopaka. I mean, again, this is still a lot, and there's a second catapult already coming. Jaina goes down, though, but the counter kill attempt, Ultralisk is able to get out. They're trying to go for another kill, but Benny gets saved by Rhaegar. 4 versus 5, but the core is now under attack. It is Winion time, baby. They need to send... they got... Okay, Thrall was already sent back. Thrall is now back and is defending this, and he really needed to be there, making this a 4 versus 4 at the bottom of the map. They're starting to jump in once again. Can they get another kill here? The drag, the tongue, Blaze, and he gets out. They need that seed, and they will likely get that seed. Thrall does not have Sundering, but he has his Wolf, and he connects it. They go for Benny, and he's dead. A follow-up kill, and the Hlopaka is saying hello from the side. They're trying to go for Rhaegar, and he has no chance here. You can run, baby. You can't hide. He's dead. Guys, they're actually pulling this off. They actually have a solid chance of starting to slowly pull this off here, which is crazy. Absolutely crazy. 23 minutes in. The catapults are an absolute menace, but they're taking them out. There's 2 heroes down. I would love for the blue team to be a bit more aggressive. And with a bit more aggressive, I mean just take that wall out. Don't go for the keep directly, but take the wall out. So now we have them another kill. Another one's actually nasty. That's 60 seconds. They are just about to get Jojo back and Rhaegar in 30, and then Jaina dies here. So a little bit of damage on those walls. At least destroy them. If you can get a keep, hey, even better. But at least take the walls out so that you have a better shot. It's 13 to 13 kills now. And if you are on the side of Team Dynouh, then this is where you're starting to freak out a little bit. At the latest, if you haven't done so already earlier. Bam! Jojo is gone. She came, she saw, she died again. Veni, Vidi, Vici, as we say in Latin. Now they're trying to go for Hlopaka. I cannot believe this is happening. They're actually doing it. The keep is gone. 3 defenders, and they're going for the core here. They're actually going for the core. And the core is slowly falling. Jaina is back in 7 seconds. And the Ancestral. But that's the first kill. I think they overstepped a bit. Brightwing and the Hlopaka are both dead. 40%, 30%. Hit it hard. Right click that shit. 28. They overplayed. No. No!
Nope.
Oh my god! I think they could have played this slower. I don't think they had to all in on this thing. They were looking so much better here, and now Team Dynouh on their way to a victory. No! 26%. I do not think they had to commit this hard here, but a 5-man team wipe finishes off game number 1 as Team Dynouh takes the victory after all, moving cross-map on Garden of Terror to take the W, drop the core, and take out Team Hlopaka on the first map of the series. Crazy stuff. GG. We're going to head straight into game number 2, but before we do, once again guys, if you enjoy the coverage on the channel here, if you enjoy the match, please like and subscribe. Subscribe to the channel, like the video. It also helps to boost the game to an even wider audience. And of course, it helps to get people back into Heroes of the Storm as the algorithm recommends the videos to people that were interested in Heroes of the Storm in the past. So again, before I continue, if you haven't done it yet, subscribe to the channel and like the video. Appreciate it. And with that, we're heading straight into the second map of the series. Infernal Shrines. That was a wild ending. I think whoever made the call on Team Hlopaka to fully commit to the core will be playing the next round of beer at whatever event they attend, because that was wild. I do not think they needed to go all out on this one. I think they could have damaged the core. Multiple options. Go for the core, realize, hey, we can't really make it. Jaina is respawning in a couple of seconds. We're starting to suffer a bit too much. Let's move back and then retreat. Or right at the start, or maybe a bit earlier, decide that you're going to just move to one of the other keeps and take it out too. Either way, they were really doing well. So, yeah. But again, as it stands right now, we're going to Infernal Shrines. So Team Hlopaka, they chose the map. Team Dynouh is obviously very happy with how the game turned out. It was essentially a double comeback. Initially, it was Team Hlopaka who had no right to make a comeback into the game, and they were able to pull it off. But then Team Dynouh looked like they would lose out for sure, and that defense on the core was just enough to win them the game. So a pretty wild one. Personally, I'm kind of curious to see how exactly this is now going to play out and who wins game number 2, if we're going to a 3-mapper here, or if Dynouh's team is able to pull this off. They go for Diablo and Blaze at the front, and then have Malfurion for heals, which is already a very good start into the draft for them. I mean, for Infernal Shrines, it's great. You have a lot of stuns with Diablo, you have the follow-up with Blaze, he's a fantastic side laner, also provides you with the bunker on the Shrines. Malfurion can shut down the access a little bit. Tracer has already been banned earlier, so they never really wanted to go for the Tracer comp in the first place. But we get a ban on Medivh. So no ley line into Apocalypse shenanigans or anything of the sorts. Play, of course, with Johanna, another great pick for the map. And we get Hlopaka on Hanzo, which he has been playing a lot now. I mean, I'm talking about this series particularly, but the previous one as well. He's been playing a lot of Hanzo. And now we get a ban on Malthael. Yeah, with Diablo in here. I think they can do without the last rights. You could still go Tychus, of course, if you really wanted to attack Diablo, and it gives you the Odin transformation on the objective as well. So, one thing that Team Hlopaka could definitely do if they wanted to. I mean, if you pick Tychus, you most of the time pick him here. But, side laner. The Haka's up. They got Kayn, it's the first one that they get, with a bit more control also over the objective. There's the Haka again. Yeah. That was a huge part of why they initially started that comeback on Garden of Terror in the first place. And now, of course, one of the questions is what Cure will pick. He's still playing cross-server, a little bit of a ping disadvantage. By the way, there are some people that thought for some reason that there's like several seconds of a ping disadvantage, or like 1.5 seconds. That's obviously not a thing. So ping disadvantage is like 0.3, 0.2. So 200, 300 milliseconds is usually what they have. It depends a little bit on where exactly you live and some other factors, but we're not talking seconds. That was a big confusion the other day. If you would talk seconds of a delay when you're putting anything in, nobody would be able to play anything there across server. So we get Thrall and Gul'dan, and we have Imperius as the final pick. Ladies and gentlemen, map number 2, match point for Team Dynouh, and, well, it is Infernal Shrines. Hlopaka's team on the left in blue as we're heading into Infernal. We got the captain himself on Hanzo, Hiraeth on Hlopaka, Death Knight on Deckard Cain, Play is playing Johanna, and we got Ultralisk on Imperius. Towards the right side of the map, the double Orc pick towards the end with Cure on Thrall. We got Dynouh and Gul'dan with the Pursuit of Flame on level 1. Bad Benny playing Diablo, going for Devil's Due as his first choice. And we got Copenhagen on Blaze, and then Captain Rex on Malfurion. So, once again, a reminder, this is the second match for Team Hlopaka. They lost their first one. So, if they now lose to Dynouh on Infernal Shrines, that would mean they are 0-2 in the group. Whereas Team Dynouh is 1-2 currently, and with a victory here would go even. 2 wins, 2 losses. So, fairly important for them to take it, because the race for the playoffs has been very spicy already, and it has intensified after Team Sadath was able to take down Team Disciple, who up to this point were undefeated. So, yeah, Hlopaka with a triple front line now. And how exactly is Team Dynouh going to play their cards here? Well, the lunge against Benny, and he's fine. Benny is totally fine here. So yeah, that was a quick lunge that was happening there as they were starting to make a move for him. And then all the way up at the top, the attempt to go for Hiraeth here. In comes Cure. That is Hlopaka with some problems. But Imperius is trying to come in and help him out. I just don't think that's going to be enough. There's the drag, and that is first blood right there. So, well, nicely done. But, as is, we're now having... Oh, at the bottom of the map. Yep, Malfurion is gone. Alrighty, so Dynouh gets attacked as well. Yeah, so far so good. Not able to take him out. We got Bad Benny. And yeah, well, can they do a little bit more on all of this? I mean, it would be, for example, quite nice if they would now be able to at least get some counter pressure by claiming some of those mercenary camps, but it's the blue team that is making most of the plays for it, as they're going for the one on the left side. Johanna has already sniffed out that they are trying to take their own. I thought they were trying to invade here, but they're actually not making any decisive moves on this. It's also because they're a bit slower on the left side than I expected them to. But if they could have been more aggressive around, that would have been nice. Instead, they're going for Benny right now, but it's a full-on brawl down here with the Hlopaka coming in. It's a full 5 versus 5. Benny gets killed. Benny is gone. So, yep, he's dead. So 2 kills to 1. And so far, so good. 2 kills to 1 right now. Well, 5 is already on the board for Team Hlopaka. Hiraeth is now starting to move over towards the top too. And down at the bottom of the map, it's still 1 camp remaining that the blue team seems to be eager to grab. But Dynouh has already double-checked that. Well, they got the vision from Hanzo. So they know that they have to be a bit careful on who exactly moves in here. And they let it slide. So, yeah. With the first objective activating... Nobody is too close to level 7 yet. There's only 1 team that has taken their own shaman camp at the top. The Hlopaka will have to try and defend this, or they are accepting that they will take some damage on the top side wall. Yeah. Next move is already coming in. Benny is on the move right now. Yeah, they're actually not going for the objective. They're just trying to get some damage done up at the top. That should be pretty easy to react to, though. The blue team already have Imperius essentially in position for this. Ultralisk gets found out, but can easily now move to the top to help out. So the whole goal here is for Team Dynouh to do damage at the wall and then defend after the Punisher gets claimed at the bottom of the map, or at least that's what it looked like initially. The teams have now both gone for level 7 talents, and with that we're seeing the red team actually commit to some aggression here. And they're picking up Shrine minions fairly easily thanks to Gul'dan. So this is not as one-sided as I thought it would be. It really looked initially that Team Dynouh was trying to just get structural damage done and leave the objective up to the blue team. And I think that was probably still the play. But at some point they realized they might have a chance after all and commit a little bit more. By the way, Steed Charge on level 7 should probably yeah, point that out too. So the interesting part is actually the Iron Skin duration increase. That's also a really important one on the passive. But here comes the damage now. So 2 kills to 1, a bit of a lead for Team Hlopaka already. And with the objective, they should be able to do more damage here. The wall is down, and the fort will lose hit points. I have to say I like what the blue team does, generally speaking. They're doing a lot of good work. They've done a great job in the first series that they played of the day. Went up against a super tough opponent and started to struggle, which you can't really blame them for. But even here, game number 1 could have been a W for them. They could have won that. And now, in game 2, they are in the driver's seat. They are going for Dynouh, and they're about to take him out. Yeah, Dynouh going for a little bit more of a drain, and that lets Gul'dan live slightly longer. But he falls eventually. And now with Gul'dan gone, that's not only a stronger lead in experience, but we also have 3 kills to 1. And they are sieging up the bottom fort in an attempt to take it down further. They go for Diablo, and Bad Benny, yeah, good Benny, is able to move out of the fight. But with him retreating, that means that the fort is wide open. They're already zoning out heavily around it. And that is the first major structure basically gone. Yeah, they're taking it. Blaze is coming in from the side. Ah, they get the hit against Diablo. Benny pushing out again. It just feels that in every single fight that they're fighting, they're struggling a bit. This is the moment, though, where they turn it around. So now looking a bit better here. Level 10 abilities on the other side. Arrow from Hanzo. Deckard Kane with the ult. Stay a while and get wrecked. Well, nobody got wrecked in that particular encounter, but they at least were able to retreat. That wasn't a given. Not after they got the initial kill. But they have now the same chance to take some structures out. Not a fort, but at least a wall. So yeah, take that one apart. And with a... yeah, I was about to say Siege Giants, but with the Khaldor, they're now getting their work done here too. Blaze has given up the camp, by the way. The Horrify, though. Can they get the kill? Thrall wasn't there, but it really felt like they should get that one kill. That Horrify from Gul'dan, I mean, Dynouh with a play on point. Quick note, Thrall is on 0 stacks for his level 4. So that is a little bit of a problem. Nothing crazy, but obviously, yeah, you would like to complete that as quickly as you can. At the latest for the synergy with level 16, but even before. Next shrine about to be up. And this time, both of them are going for the Shaman Camp. So, yeah, down at the bottom of the map. Or in the middle. He's stupid goat. It's one of the funny things, by the way, here in Spain. There's actually like goat or sheep herds that are a little bit outside of Valencia. So sometimes when I ride with my bike, you all of a sudden have to stop because there's just like a shepherd with his sheep that are crossing the road. So it's kind of fun. Blessed Shield is out. There's already Thrall with the ult. Nice! The jet propulsion triple! And even the follow-up Apocalypse does some work. They get the kill on Jojo. And now it's time for Imperius to fall as well. Dynouh is trying to chase him with the rest of the team. They're on the point and they don't kill Ultralisk. They're not able to get the kill here, but they should be able to get the objective. Wild that Imperius made it. Imperius still alive, which is just crazy. Like, Ultra should have died there. 3 kills to 3, 23 stacks. It's now Gul'dan that is moving down to the bottom of the map to obliterate the minion wave here. They still maintain control over the shrine, and since the blue team hasn't moved in for it anymore, they're going to be fine here. They can actually delay this a little bit just to give Gul'dan a bit more time, but they take it right away. They have both level 13 talents now, and Gul'dan can join up with the rest of the team after he just took 2 of the minion waves at the bottom of the map out. Still 0 stacks for Thrall. There's the bait over the wall. We're talking Arcane Punisher at this point. They come in with a flank. Hlopaka missing the tongue. But they go for, for Jojo. And they get another kill. Deckard Kane with the Resident Sleeper play once again. But it was just not enough to save Jonna. So now here comes Team Dynouh with all the aggression they can muster here. to try and take out that mid lane fort, and it will fall. So, we're even in structures. Lead in experience has now been claimed by the red team. Team Dynouh slightly ahead here. We got Bad Benny on the side on his epic lizard, and they're gonna steal a few more of the camps away, I suppose. Jojo is coming back, but she still needs a bit of travel time, and Bad Benny is already getting aggressive, hoping that they can maybe get more. Jet propulsion! Horrify! Can they go for Ultralisk? And the answer is no. Even Thrall popping his ult here. So they want that camp, they still don't have it. Benny with another auto attack is finally able to claim it, and there's the APOC! Can they get a kill with it? They're trying this time for Death Knight, the old man. Death Knight, Deckard Cain, the Lick, and Diablo is gone. Lord of Terror gets eliminated. Big for play, completing his level 4. Punish is completed. Thrall completed his quest as well. But Johanna basically has a stun now with the completion. And they go for Thrall too. So kill after kill over here. And it's another big one that they were just able to get in. But damn. Jojo with a completed subdue. That's massive. That is absolutely massive. So this is going to help them in those team fights a lot. And they have taken the lead in experience again. 5 kills to 4. 11 minutes in. I have absolutely zero clue who's going to win this. This is as even as it could possibly get. The lead in experience swapping this crazily, that's a bit wild. And it will give level 16 to Team Hlopaka. I just don't think that it's going to give them an advantage over... yeah, over the next objective. Because the red team is going to catch up. And the objective hasn't even been announced yet. So they should be fine here. But Diablo, he needs his soul stacks. He's down to 35 now. We got the old man here with the Heraldric Staff. And we also got the Ancient Blessings. As they are getting the XP, yeah, but you can see that the dynamic has completely changed right now. It's Team Dynouh that is playing exceptionally passive, waiting for the experience to tickle in. They know fully well that they shouldn't engage against an opponent that has level 16. So they're sacrificing parts of the wall at the bottom of the map, but they're inching closer and closer to the next talent here. Shrine gets announced. Bad Benny still sitting tight over here. Is also hiding a little bit. But they're gonna go to 16. He should pick up the experience here and moves in from the top. Really hiding in vision. So, yeah, picks up whatever he can. And there's level 16 for them right now, which gives us the Alpha Wolf. The synergy with the level 4 talent is now also completed. They go for the Mercenary Camp. We have the Juggernaut plating for Blaze. And we get the Rampant Hellfire for Gul'dan. I have, by the way, not seen the Saki Saki build in a long time here. Alright, so they invade the camp. That is a little bit annoying for that top lane. That top lane fort is most likely going to get wrecked now. Because that is a double camp that's getting taken here. And the blue team is aware of it. So blue team has moved on to the objective, and that's a freebie. Yeah. They take the Haka out. That would be big. The Haka stunned and killed. Easy. Easy, baby. And that arrow, whoo, that did not connect with anything. So now they have a double camp at the top, and they want to do the damage here. It's an interesting situation. They gave up the Punisher. They wanted to go for a kill at the top lane, which they were able to pull off, and now they are actually the ones that are threatening to take one of the keeps out. The next minion wave is coming in, and that keep is getting murdered. Team Dynouh. There's a frozen Punisher at the bottom of the map, but the keep at the top lane is definitely going to get destroyed. If they can win this team fight, that would be big. And look at Deckard Cain. Deckard Cain, the Horrify, way too good, but both of the supports are gone. Both of the supports are gone, and Bad Benny is now dying too. Benny is gone, but he had his stacks back. So that is the good news. He was back on the stacks. Thrall, cure. Nope. He gets cured of his hit points. That's all that happened there. By the way, that is the shield falling. Okay. Let's keep, on the other hand, at the bottom of the map. Can they hold on to that? The Haka is now defending this, but that is 91% now. So, I've seen this before. Last time it was 51%, to be fair. But I've seen similar situations. The keep at the bottom of the map is actually going to survive. So they're going to hold on to it. They're holding on to the keep. So, losing the objective, IQ to 100 play here. double Shaman Camp, just stronger. It's just simply stronger. But there is still that 1 level gap in experience between the two teams, and that should really worry Team Dynouh. They're catching up on this a bit with the minions that they're now taking out at the bottom of the map. But yeah, you don't want to go up against a level 20 on the other side. I'm not sure why they're playing this passive right now. Benny doesn't want to get hit, I understand. He's alone on the lane. But they were playing very, very passive here. And at this point, you don't really have to. Once that your opponent has Storm Talons, different story. So they're trying to just like freeze the lanes a little bit. Diablo's doing the same thing at the bottom of the map, so they don't want to push those out. They already know that they're going to play a bit of an uphill battle here. So, yeah, they're playing this very, very slow on this one. Now, the Hlopaka is still at the top. It's going to get the team level 20. This might actually end up with a level 20 advantage for Team Hlopaka on the next objective. That's the big threat here. And it's a realistic one. They got Kayn upgrades into Respect the Elderly. This makes your ears bleed even more. And now they're going for that keep. And they're going to get it. I mean, you're not going to fight for this one. So, yeah. Once again, 8 kills to 6. Yeah, well, I don't think they're pushing it further than that. But 1 level... yeah, there's a couple of minion waves down at the bottom of the map, and I think you're going to get a little bit more in the middle. But you better bridge that gap quickly. So, they need to take a few more things out here. Potions all over. Deckard Cain is, I mean, honestly, he could at least pick up after himself a little bit. This is just not cool. He's just littering the entire time. If that is not a fine, then I don't understand. The Nexus police should definitely catch up with him and ask him what's up with that, because that is not okay. The guy is just, yeah, just littering the entire time here. They're gonna get to 20. This is the one map where I always underestimate the time for the next objective spawn. I always think that the team can walk away with maybe an advantage on the objective, and then oftentimes it just gets delayed by so much that's not really happening. So Benny is playing this mega safe again at the bottom of the map and not leaving his mount here. But they are closing in on 20. They have to give up on their siege giant camp, so that's a thing. But they can get the experience here. The passive experience alone over the next 13 seconds should already be enough to give them that. So, yeah, shouldn't really worry too much here. But they are moving in. There's level 20. And that gives us instantly also the Earthen Shield. And that's a big upgrade. That's a huge upgrade, actually. Also, Haunt. I mean, like, again, if you... the Horrifies that Dynouh has been dropping have been on point. So, if he gets another Haunt in here, they have an even bigger chance to get a kill. So, yeah. Arrow! Gul'dan! Well, you can only use a Horrify if you're alive. And that's not the case here. So, Team Hlopaka, guys, we might go game 3. Thrall is down 2. Keep in mind, there's a path to the core through the bottom lane. So if they get more kills here, they can go straight for it. I suppose this time they're going to make sure that they have a real chance to take the core out, though. Before just YOLOing in. 53,000 damage right now for Hanzo. And... yeah. With that, let's see. That's, I mean, that's an easy objective. 26 seconds for Gul'dan. With another kill, they would have maybe made a move, but as it stands right now, they're gonna take this one and then push through the middle. They have to go through the fort. That one will be easy. They keep, they can defend with 5. So this is not really that bad. If they would have been able to get a few more kills, that's a different story. Then I think we would have seen the blue team move down to the bottom of the map and immediately go for the core. So, yeah. But as is, the fort is essentially gone before the Punisher takes serious damage. So now they have to bait him over here. But we have a 5 versus 5 defense. The Hlopaka has been pushing out the bot lane a little bit more. Yeah, and they burn it down quickly. Blessed Shield is out. Immediate cleanse from Malfurion. Malfurion with a Nature's Cure. Apoc! And that might be a kill. They go for Jojo and they take her out. Horrify has been used too. They want Ultralisk. And they're about to get Ultralisk. They get... no! Ultralisk! He gets locked in again! And there it is. They are able to drop him. Okay, and Dynouh is grabbing the Punisher in the middle. They will be able to defend their keep, but that was some clutch play. Double kill against the blue team, and they save the keep for now, but it's once more so low that the blue team could theoretically push against it later and just take it. So another question is, what are you going to do with that? There's not a whole lot of camps up that you could go for. You can steal this one away, which they're already looking at. Are you going to take the fort at the bottom of the map? Are you going to make a play for the keep? It seems like they're willing to go for the keep. They think they have a shot here. The minion wave is pushing in. Oh, triple. Quad catapults. Hell yeah, they should go for that keep. Sorry, for the core. 100%. Yeah, Diablo, on the other hand, gets caught on the side and killed. He will be back. But now they're trying to go for the core and burn that down quickly. Jojo is moving into... I'm not sure they have it, but it's going to be close. 80%. Arrow is out. 70%. They made the play for Gul'dan, who's definitely the biggest obstacle here. The catapults are not on the core. Core is at 50%. Big heals coming out from Malfurion. Dynouh is still alive, which is ridiculous. How is he alive? Massive plays for Captain Rex to keep Dynouh in play. They go for the core. 10%. 9, 6, 4. And Malfurion, there it is. They get it. A 2-0 victory for Team Dynouh. GG.